Also welcoming on our panel right now, we have Abha Singh, advocate, joining us from Mumbai. We have with us, I can see from Delhi, we have Neena Pillai, tracking this case closely. Advaita Kala, author and scriptwriter, also joining us right now. Sheena Murder tapes out. Neena Pillai, first comment from you. We've been talking about this all of last year. The tapes are out. We are hearing Indrani in her own voice, Peter in his own voice. This is a family conversation going on with Rahul, who's trying to find out what happened to Sheena Bora. Indrani is trying to put Rahul off the trail and getting active encouragement from Peter while doing so. At some point in this tape, Peter even makes up a ridiculous story. He says, I spoke to Sheena. He can't speak to Sheena. Sheena's been killed. Why is Peter stringing along? Why would he say, I talked to a dead person? Does this now prove that Peter actually made Indrani kill Sheena? So the story changes. Peter is not part of the cover-up. Peter made Indrani kill Sheena and then pretended to play along. So he planned the murder. She was the knife, but he was the hand. Right?
Yes.
Neena, what do you think?
Arnab, I think you have done a brilliant piece of investigative journalism by bringing these tapes out. But from day one, I think when I've been on your debates previously, we conjectured on Peter being involved, and we were quite sure in our own way that there was a culpability on his part.
Yeah.
Two, that Indrani was telling lies was something that was proved beyond reasonable doubt. Also, that the person who most cared about this young girl Sheena's life and her being missing was Rahul, a boyfriend who we heard through the conversations has been living with her for 3 years and probably knew her the best as of date. And so her disappearance concerns him, and he suspects his own father and his stepmother, because he's leading them on to come to the truth or some kind of truth, and he's taping them. So he fears that they have done something to her. Like on so many occasions, he says the message was different. 45 minutes before it was like her, and then it was someone else. Now, all the tapes that we have is like 4 days later, and or 3 days later.
And he's being misled.
So
no, he's being misled. This boy is being misled throughout. Conspiracy. Throughout, Peter and Indrani are misleading him. I mean, it cannot be. I refuse to believe at this stage.
Sticking to his story.
No, there are too many people out here. Shazia is coming in again, I presume, in Peter's defense.
It's rubbish.
One second.
Advaita. Love angle and all this.
You know, this whole love angle.
Conspirators, co-conspirators.
This love angle.
They planned a cold-blooded murder, and they actually did it together in spirit, in time, and in how it was executed, and the lies to cover everything up, and they thought they got away scot-free till it was uncovered last year.
So would it be fair to say, Advaita and Ravina Rajkoli, former President, Star News, television executive, would it be fair to say, my question is to you, Ravina, first, would it be fair to say that Peter was thick in the murder plot, not in the cover-up plot? The cover-up plot would have the man reacting differently. This could only have come from a person who was thick in the murder plot himself. Otherwise, he wouldn't have strung along.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
First of all, thank God these tapes have come to your, keeping, and you have played these tapes out, because they are studded with gems of information that I hope will stop the manipulation of this investigation. First and foremost, we were led to believe that Indrani this and Indrani that. But the point is, Peter, I have always said, knew everything and he didn't want to know. I said this on your show, on your channel, I think the first day that I came on.
Yeah.
Now, the fact is, I believe these tapes reveal that he was part of the conspiracy, because there is a part in the tape where Rahul says that Peter asked him, or Peter says, you asked me this a year earlier. Secondly, what has also come to light, that he is still very heavily connected with the Bombay police. All right? He has planned this, and he has planned the cover-up.
Exactly.
Perfectly.
Exactly. In fact, Ravina, this classical theory being put out, and I don't know how everyone bought it. Indrani is terrible, she's manipulating, she's bad, she uses all the men in her life, and all the men in her life are absolutely innocent, dumb, foolish, trusting men in absolute love. And men do it for love, and therefore this manipulative woman uses them. Now the story changes. Even the most manipulated man, Advaita, even the most manipulated man would not have said, I have spoken to a dead person. The tape I have not put out yet, where Rahul says, are you saying that you spoke to Sheena? And he says, yes, Sheena called me. By the way, Sheena died. She was killed on April 24, 2012. 1 week later, 2 weeks later, Peter Mukherjee says a dead person called him and said, Jiju, I'm all right. I mean, this is the most ridiculous, insane cover-up that I have seen, and all the people out there who've been fighting for Peter Mukherjee should be really asking themselves questions on why they did so. Advaita, take it forward.
I think, Arnab, the game changer, if we roll back a little bit to last year, was everyone was buying the narrative of Peter Mukherjee being blindsided, because that was the first narrative that emerged when this crime was revealed. And the game changer was really that interview where we picked up on inconsistencies. And I think from then on, it has changed entirely for him. So I'm sure that's one thing he sorely regrets, is actually doing that interview, because I just revealed completely just how complicit he was.
Absolutely.
And earlier on in the show, there was this conversation about him being in love or not being in love, or it being money. The bottom line is, when a crime has been committed, the motivation for complicity can be anything. It can be love, it can be romance, it can be anything, but it is complicity in a crime, and that does not change, whatever be the motivation.
I say this to you now. We are in a lot of pressure from viewers. Viewers are saying, play the tape quickly. Abha, before I play the tape, viewers, sorry, 1 more minute, I'll play the full tape. And when I run tape 3, that's super critical, 16 minutes of tape, you're going to hear Indrani and Peter Mukherjee together. Abha, first words from you. We haven't opened your innings on the Newshour tonight. What do you think?
I'm just reminded of the first...
we are just being told right now that the CBI is trying to contact Times Now and wants to give us a statement.
Arnab, that is the main
We'll take
thing.
it after the clip.
I think it was after the debate which we did. After that, only the Chief Police Commissioner was removed and the case was transferred to CBI. Times Now had a very important role, and from day one, I remember from this studio, Arnab and I were saying that why Peter Mukherjee was not arrested.
Absolutely, we all said that. You remember that?
But now today, my very issue is that if these tapes can be run by Times Now, what is the CBI doing till now? Why it has not brought this? Because conduct after murder is a very important circumstantial evidence.
Ravina.
I'm saying, look, it still took 1 month to arrest him, even after the case was handed over to the CBI. Correct me if I'm wrong.
3 months.
But look at what this says to me.
2 months.
Says to me
2 months.
that here is somebody who
it was given to the CBI. 19 November, he was arrested.
Yeah.
So I hope this will start to reveal the actual murder plot, the actual motive, and the real cover-up, which is a huge story for our country.
And even one more important point, the police officer who has helped in this, his name is yet to surface.
Clip 3, tape 3 runs into 16 minutes. This is super critical. Now, this is the part of the conversation where Indrani and Peter are working together. They are playing mind games together. They are planting alibis. They're trying to tackle Rahul. Rahul is like a detective, like an investigative journalist. After all, Sheena is his fiancé. He says, I'm determined to find out what happened to her. They first build up a resignation theory. Then they cook up a narrative of Sheena escaping to avoid Rahul. It is in this tape where Rahul makes a very interesting comment. He asks his father about a warning on Sheena's disappearance. Here he suddenly says that, remember, you once said to me, what if Sheena disappears suddenly? In other words, the son asks the father, remember, you told me in our house, what if she suddenly disappears? Peter and Indrani begin to get nervous. They realize that Rahul has caught on. They begin to show their nervousness. Listen to this clip.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Ravi.
Very bad line.
I was at, I know, because we were in the, there was a bad patch.
Okay.
You know, on the drive back home from Gautam Uncle's house, we were driving back to our own place.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
That's why it was all bouncing around this way, the signal and everything. And then what Indrani is saying is that Sheena had told her that there is a person by the name of her boss or something, by the name of Mr. Mukherjee at work.
Yeah. Correct.
Right? And that she was going to inform him of her decision to resign or whatever. Okay? Now, I don't know whether she has done that or not.
No, she obviously hasn't.
Or whether, obviously hasn't. But if you want to give him a call and ask him if Sheena has made any contact or resigned.
Papa, they have come to me. It's not me. They've come here looking for her. She obviously hasn't.
No, I know.
Am I going to phone him and ask him suddenly? She obviously hasn't informed her boss because they're looking for her.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. No, so I mean, I'm just telling you what Indrani said. This is the guy who she used his name and said, this is the person I will be resigning to. This is the person who I will be giving my letter of resignation. But obviously, if she's not done that,
that's not something she mentioned to me. She was on board. She was on the way to getting promoted. She's got a placement in Oxford.
No.
January.
This is what she told.
Listen. I'm telling you what she's told me now. Okay.
What she told you?
Yeah, what she told me. I'll tell you that. She had a place.
Can I put you on a speakerphone?
No. Why? Where's the name?
No, only because then Indrani can hear it also, and I'm then not having to repeat it the same thing over to Indrani, right?
Okay.
About this part about her, her work-related thing. Just like.
Hello?
Rahul, we can hear you. Tell me.
Now, what Sheena had actually told me with regard to all of this is that she's got a place in Oxford Brookes, but it's not until January. And she told me that you, Indrani, had suggested to her, look around elsewhere, look at other different universities also, because there are better places to go to. Yeah, and at work, as far as I know, she's doing very, very well. She's on her way to getting a promotion. She got rated excellent recently. There's no reason why she would suddenly drop her job and disappear without informing anybody. There's just completely.
That's what I want to ask. Because what last time she just told me, Rahul. That's exactly what I was telling Peter. I said if she's not informed anybody at work also, then it is a bit concerning, because what she had told me that I don't know if there is anybody by the name of Mr. Mukherjee. Is there anybody by the name of Mr. Mukherjee at work? Yeah, so she said, so I think you should probably check with him. I don't know that she said that I'm going to inform him that, I'm not going to be coming into work or whatever. I will let him know. Tomorrow I'll let him know. So that was what her conversation with me was. So beyond that, I don't know. Now you might want to just check if at all she has informed him, not informed him. If she's not informed him at all, then it's a bit of a, then we can look at, whatever we want to do, whether we want to kind of inform or let it be or whatever, that we can take a call. Okay, but if she's informed,
we can't inform. Who can we inform on behalf of her? We cannot inform her boss of anything.
No, not inform.
You cannot inform.
No, Rahul, that's not what I'm saying. I want you to check whether she has informed Mr. Mukherjee or whatever this person's name is, who her boss is, whether she has contacted him, communicated, she's coming to work, not coming to work, whatever. Just check that. That is because now we are I am concerned. Okay, that's why I'm asking you to check. I don't know who this Mr. Mukherjee is. Okay, I don't even know whether there's a Mr. Mukherjee who exists there. Now you are saying there is a Mr. Mukherjee. So if there is a Mr. Mukherjee, so you just check, no?
Yeah, I mean, that's what. Look, Indrani, if she had informed her boss at work, then he would surely not have sent people looking for her, no?
No, just check, no? Rahul, why don't you just check once? Still, you have not spoken to him. You don't know, no? Who is the person who came? Was it Mr. Mukherjee who came?
She took one day off. Okay?
Sorry, she took one day off. Did she ask for...
She took one day off and then she hasn't returned after.
When?
That's what the people from Reliance have just told me when they were here.
Oh, she did take... so whom did she inform? She took a day off.
She took one day off. She took one day off.
When?
Just in the past few days. No, I'm not exactly sure which day it was, but she took one day off, and since then she hasn't returned to work. And it's been 3 or 4 days now, so obviously they're concerned.
So can you find out who this Mr. Mukherjee so that we can also contact and find out? If you can find out,
Indrani, you can do that also. You guys know more people than I know. You guys know all of this.
Do you know Mr. Mukherjee? Do you know Mr. Mukherjee at all? Who he is? Whatever? Do you know him?
Yeah, I know of him. I know of him.
Give him a call. Let Peter give him a call. Find out that has she informed, has she not informed, whatever. We can do that. So for it gives all of us. If we know that if she's informed him, then we know that she's okay. Resigned and left. Okay. Otherwise, if she's not informed him, that is all I want to know.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think she has, because that's what they've come around here for. To find out where she is.
Yeah.
So who is the guy that came? Huh?
When? Just now?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They were two Reliance people.
Yeah, but did they give you a card or did
Yeah, they did. They had their Reliance IDs, but I don't remember their names.
Yeah. So you don't know who they are? I mean, they've not left a name, number, nothing.
Well, no, they said we'll be in touch. They said if we can't locate her, we'll have to talk to the police and we'll be in touch. That's all they said.
Yeah, but they don't have. I mean, if she suddenly arrives and you have to get in touch with them, you don't know who to contact, right?
If what?
What I'm saying, if she suddenly appears and you have to let the Reliance people know that.
Do you remember a year ago or a while ago, you asked me a question standing outside Marlow, I think it was. You said, what would happen? How would you feel? What would happen if Sheena just disappeared one day? Do you remember asking me that?
Huh?
You remember asking me that question?
I don't remember, but yeah, it was well done, yes. No,
it's very strange.
What if she suddenly disappears in the sense that what if she suddenly decides to, carry on? Right? My question to you is something different. My question to you is, where is, who is known? If you know this Mr. Mukherjee, or if you've ever spoken to him, or if you've spoken to anybody at her workplace.
I don't know him, yeah.
No, but have you spoken to anybody at her workplace? Anybody?
Yeah, they've just turned up at home, haven't they?
Darling, I know you saying that, but who are they? Who is they? Is there a name that I can call?
No, not really. They're going to do their own investigations and they'll probably be in touch with you, I would have thought, if they can't locate her.
So you don't have a name of the person who came?
No, I forgot to take the name. I just told you. I'm in a bit of a state myself, actually, with worry and whatnot. So I didn't take their names. They took my number, they took my name, and they took some other personal details of Sheena's family members and whatnot. And they said that they're looking, they'll try and locate her. And if they can't, they'll do what they have to do. They'll inform the police, and then it'll go from there.
Right. Fair enough. I guess we'll then, if they're going to do that, we'll find out. They'll be able to locate her somewhere.
Yeah, I hope so. God, I hope so.
That's what I'm saying. So if the Reliance guys are working on it, then that's fine. It's a good thing. If they can't find her, if they can find her, they'll tell you. I mean, the point is you need to know where Sheena is, right?
I don't need to know where she is, okay? I need to know that she is okay. I need to know that she's safe. That's it.
Know that fair enough. Understand. From her, that she's okay, and you need to know that she's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Reliance, I'm just trying to process this in my head. Is that if the Reliance guys have come because she's not shown up at work, then clearly the reading in my head is that she's not resigned from work. Okay, she's not sent in letter.
Yeah.
She has not informed them, and she's just not showed up at work, which means that they have got concerned and they have waited another day or two, and they've now shown up at her home to say, where is Sheena?
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Correct.
And they come looking for not where is Sheena, but they come looking for her. She has not come to work or whatever. Now, the thing is, which indicates that she's not been in touch with them.
Yes.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
And now, if they find that they have not met her just now, if they then pursue their investigation and find out where they go look for Sheena. It's directly by themselves or with the police's help or whatever, right? Then once they find out where, in due course, they will find at least something. They will either come back clueless and say she's disappeared, right? Without trace, or that,
Then do you think you'll care? Then do you think you'll worry maybe? If that's the case?
Yeah, no, if that is the case, then of course I'll worry where she is.
If that's the case?
Yeah, no, if that is the case, then of course I'll worry where she is. I mean, I can call Reliance and speak to Mr. Mukherjee, but I have no number, nothing. I don't have a work number.
Yeah, well, neither do I. I've never spoken to him, so I don't know.
Can you contact these people who came? Somebody at work.
Did these guys leave a work? Did they leave a business card?
No, they said that. No, they didn't. They didn't. Otherwise, I'd tell you. They just said that they'll get in touch with us.
Anyone at her workplace? Anyone at her workplace? Do you know?
I don't have anybody's number. No.
Okay. Alright, anyway, let me find out. Let me find out because she mentioned this name, Mr. Mukherjee, to me. She said she's got some boss called Mr. Mukherjee whom she's going to inform and design or whatever, So let me just check out who this Mr. Mukherjee is. Then Peter and myself will chat, and if she's, informed him, then we know she's fine. No, if she's not informed him, then next step we can decide what we want to do, right?
Yeah,
whether we
have to. No, we have to find her.
If she has spoken to Mr. Mukherjee or informed him, then Mr. Mukherjee, and we'll find out when, if at all she has done, when she did it, and whether that communication went to these guys who actually came knocking on the door. So there's being cross-wired or whatever, and they're not.
Does he have her office phone number?
You have her office phone number. You have office phone number, don't you?
No, I don't. I used to talk to her on her mobile. No.
You talk to her on her mobile, yeah?
Yeah, and it's all off now, so I don't have her office number and all. Yeah, I can't help in that regard. I don't know.
Right.
Just, we've just got to find her wherever she is and see that she's safe.
Somebody at workplace he knows. No, he doesn't know. I mean, how is he possible?
People from Reliance came and they said she phoned and she took one day off. Or they didn't say she phoned. They said that she took one day off and she hasn't returned since then. It's been several days and they're very concerned. It's very out of her character. So they've taken some personal numbers and details of her family from me, and they're gonna, sort of start their own investigations.
Did they say which day she took off?
No. It was, a few days ago, obviously. Must have been the first day that she was missing, presumably, right? The first day that she was missing. So.
No, around today's Saturday.
Yeah.
And the first day that...
What night did she have dinner with Indrani?
What night?
Yeah.
Would have been the night... which night was it? The dinner she had dinner with, the evening she had.
Okay, not dinner, drinks or whatever, or jewelry shopping or whatever it was. What night was it that she met Indrani?
25th, Indrani went to Calcutta, so it was the 24th night.
Okay, so then she must have taken if she did inform, then she would have taken the following day, presumably, having had a late night or whatever, and taken it off.
Presumably.
And then since then, she hasn't been in touch. So she works on Saturdays as well, huh? So today is a working day for her. So today is also another day. Today's another day that she's been missing. So.
Right.
What is it? When did she?
No, so she would have taken off on the 25th.
Presumably, huh? I'm presuming what would be the logical thing.
Yeah, presumably. No, but if she's taking one day off, then not... Yeah. To take that one day off.
To take the one day off, you contacted somebody else. I think she contacted people, you know what that means? She contacted people on the
Are you hearing this?
No, I couldn't quite hear what Indrani was saying, but...
Okay, what Indrani said was that she would have taken, if it's a big if, if she's taken 25th off, then she would have spoken to somebody either on the 25th morning to say, look, I'm not coming into work today.
Correct.
Or
because it would have been too late. It would have been too late the night before to call and inform. So she probably would have done it.
It would have been too late the night before. Yeah, it would have been too late to call the night before. So on the following day, if she took that day off, then she would have taken that day off, and she would have called from wherever she's called somebody. Now, I wouldn't mind to know who that somebody is that she took, and that she informed that she was taking that day off.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. She's got several bosses, Anna. So it's, you know, and then I guess there's a manager, and there's a head of department or whatever. Whoever there is, I don't know. So
yeah,
I don't know who she would have informed.
So I don't know. I mean, I really don't know where to start, who to talk to at Reliance, you know, and which number to call to say, look.
But now you would to say
what?
To say what?
No, to say that, you know, Sheena took the day off. Which day was it that she took off? When did she call? And who did she speak to on that day to inform them that she's not coming into work that day? Who was the person she spoke to? Unless I know that, I can't speak to that person, no?
I don't know. I can't help you on that, man. I honestly don't.
Yeah, no, so then... So she would have...
Hey, Puck, can I call you back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, the CBI is calling our office saying they want to give a statement on this. They have a lot of explaining to do, Sujay.
Yes, 101%, because this kind of damning evidence, and they could have fast-tracked the trial and secured the conviction.
But there's nothing here, but this is all very clear. Peter's involved. Simple.
Absolutely.
Advaita, what do you think? What do you think? I mean, you heard the tapes. Let's get reactions from him. Let's get the first gut feel reaction when we are listening to these tapes. Peter's involved. Peter and Indrani are working together. They're part of a plan. What do you think, Advaita?
Absolutely. I think, you know, initially he's all about really, you know, getting his son off the trail, so to speak. And I think what is even more compelling really is, more than what you listen to, is really the fact that a son would record his father about something as personal, you know, in a matter which is really a heartbreak chat, you know. I mean, the girlfriend or the fiance has left, and really he's recording his father, and he's asking very leading questions, things like, you know, Indrani was the last person to see her, then following that up with, you once said, what if she disappears? So this is something
I found the most revealing part,
right
Advaita,
from the get-go.
No, the most revealing part, I'd like to throw this among our panelists here, where Rahul suddenly asks Peter to jog his memory to 1 year back.
About the disappearance.
Right? And says that according to Rahul, he says, remember, Pa, you said, standing in Marlow, which is their house, what would happen, how would you feel? What would happen if Sheena disappeared one day? What was that supposed to mean? What was that supposed to mean?
Most horrifying statement.
No? In other words, the son suspects that his father.
That Rahul had some kind of a.
Recalls. No, not only
he recalls
it. He's just trying to now put two and two together, is the way I would look at it. Because now, if they can't find where she is, and then he says, "Please jog your memory and tell me this is what you said, that she has disappeared." How do you put these two sentences together?
The question is, he says, what would happen? How would you feel if Sheena disappeared one day? Who says that?
Who says that?
Who says that? That, you know, what would happen if she just disappeared from the face of the earth one day? Simi, who would say that? Simi.
Arnab, it's very obvious that Rahul probably has an idea of what has happened and that Sheena's not coming back. The very fact that he's recording his own dad and grilling him, he's trying to get proof of that. Okay, and initially we thought it's a crime of passion when there were, rumors about his alleged involvement with Sheena. But now, the more we look at it, and after these conversations, it seems like it's a crime of manipulation.
No, more of manipulation, and more it seems the question to be asked is, was this plan to kill Sheena Bora hatched a long time back?
Exactly.
So was the reference to the disappearance a casual one, or was father testing son, saying, if someone kills Sheena, how would you feel? I mean, how would you feel? It's the stupidest question anyone can ask. The most heartless question anyone can ask. Why would anyone ask that question? I don't know.
This clearly indicates that around 2011, that is a year before these tapes.
Yeah, CBI is reacting. CBI is reacting now.
The inspector.
CBI is calling in on the phone line. CBI spokesperson following the. I think Devpreet Singh is with us, CBI spokesperson. Good evening. Good evening, Devpreet. Are you there or not here? Ms. Singh, are you there? Ms. Singh, can you hear me? Ms. Singh, can you hear me? I think I lost the phone line. No, I don't have the phone line. No, we don't. We'll come back to it. Okay. We'll call her again. We'll come back to this. We've lost the phone line. There it is. The engaged tone proves we've lost the phone line with her. Nina, you were saying something. Nina.
Yeah. Arnab, I just want to go back to this conversation where Indrani says in Peter's scheme of things,
we'll call her directly.
It looks like once she got the money, then she left. And last year they were saying that she called from the United States. Now there's some Khurana guy that she's gone to Nagpur with. The inconsistencies in the story are so blatant that I'm surprised that for 1 year the law enforcement agencies, the special branch, the CBI, all the big police officers that were investigating this have not just looked at the tapes and come to then they've got the driver to turn approver. Why couldn't they bring this case to judgment much quicker than this with all the evidence that they have? It's culpability, it's conspiracy, it's murder, and it's pre-planned. A year ago, 6 months, the day before, but they're together in it, and all of them are culpable.
No, I think this really reopens it. I think Peter Mukherjee is as culpable. You're pretty convinced when you're listening to this that Peter has planned the murder, and not just done the cover-up.
Yeah. One very important point is that conduct after murder is a very important part of circumstantial evidence. So all these conversations, these tapes, they are a part of the thing under the Indian Evidence Act. Also, as per the IT Act, now they are very relevant evidence, and these are enough to nail Peter. And why is CBI dealing
some powerful people?
That is very.
Can I put it very simply? Have some very powerful people.
I think that's what the
very, very powerful people been trying to cover up Peter Mukherjee from the start. And today with this evidence coming out, that question is more relevant. Devpreet Singh of the CBI is with us on the phone. Ms. Singh, are you there?
Hello?
Ms. Singh, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you, Arnab.
Ms. Singh, these tapes, you didn't have them? CBI didn't have them?
I would like to issue a statement, Arnab.
Did you have these tapes? Did you have these tapes? Did you have these tapes with you?
I can put my statement to you, Arnab.
But did you, just one question before your statement, did you have these tapes?
I will not be taking any questions, Arnab.
The whole country is asking you questions, Ms. Singh. The whole country is asking the CBI questions right now. Anyway, you can give the statement,
May I?
Yeah.
Hello?
On. I'm listening to you.
Hello?
I'm listening to you. Go on, ma'am.
Yeah. The tapes being played on your news channel debate have already been taken into account during CBI investigation. These
what I'm going to do because I've lost the line. I'm going to call her directly from this number. Can you call her the CBI spokesperson directly from the number? Viewers are just trying to get her directly on the phone.
Get her on speaker.
Get her on speaker. This is getting fascinating here right now.
No, they have, but I'll tell you what they've done.
1 second, please. Abba, we're trying to contact the CBI on the phone.
What was this?
We either got a bad line or got disconnected, but clearly the CBI spokesman not wanting to take calls right now.
The number you are calling is not reachable. Please call.
Okay, so we'll try and contact her again. Abba.
See, like what she said, they've taken into account, but my question is that what further we've got to know is that Rahul has changed his statement when he was giving the statement.
They can't say that. No. Why? So my question is, these tapes are at the disposal of the CBI. 1 year has passed, the trial has not begun.
But they will produce it at the appropriate time.
No, to what?
The very fact that there is an admission or there's a statement on behalf of the CBI that we are in possession of that, they will use it at the time of the trial.
To what extent have they relied on these these tapes to establish Peter's role in the crime?
No, we do not know. But the very fact that they have acknowledged it on a public platform like this, on a media channel, that we are...
Our sources are telling us that the CBI has not taken on board the contents of all of the tapes. They're selectively using part of the tapes. There may be material more incriminating than what they are using. The tapes we put out prove a lot about Peter's complicity. You can take parts of the tapes that paint Peter innocent.
I
The fact is that
Yeah.
these tapes, all
Right.
20 of them,
Yeah.
all of them are there in the possession of the CBI since last year.
Yeah.
What they have done is
Yeah.
that they have selectively taken 7, left 13 out. They have used 7 in the charge sheet. The 2 charge sheet, ma'am, that's already come in. The investigation is still not over. They're talking about perhaps a 3rd charge sheet because they still haven't come to the motive. The investigation is not over, so where would the trial go?
So
and these tapes, 13 out of 20, they found it irrelevant. That
Why
is
did they?
They have not
but
been
that
used.
is
I
the
even have the numbers of the tapes that have been used and the ones that have been left
And as
out.
you said, that they are still investigating. So
My
let
only
us
thing
hear
was
the
that they
CBI
will
out.
use the
That is
tapes
also
at the
important.
appropriate time. But
There is-
now
there-
when
no, there is no- there is no- there-
it's very relevant whether they would use the entire set of tapes.
Can I ask? No. Let me
what work it has done.
Abba, let me make a basic point here. Viewers, 1 year and a few months back, the whole world said that Peter is guilty after we heard his voice. We did an interview with him. I can play that interview now. Today we are hearing Peter Mukherjee's voice again. Powerful people till the very end tried to protect Peter Mukherjee. My question is, why did powerful people and powerful institutions try to protect Peter Mukherjee then? Why are powerful people and powerful institutions trying to protect Peter Mukherjee now? If the CBI comes on record, and we'll get her to say that I have all the tapes, my question is, great, you have all the tapes, what are you doing with it? The tapes clearly, I put the viewer's common sense as opposed to the CBI's Ravina. The viewer has enough common sense. The viewer may not be sort of an investigating agency in this country. Any view.
But Arnab, one thing.
Shazia.
Can I come in, please?
Yes, Shazia. Yeah, Shazia.
But yeah. Yes, what I'm saying is because of these conversations and other evidence that was given, Peter Mukherjee is in jail. The fact is he's been there. So while one cannot condone him and say that he was a victim of some conspiracy, he would definitely be accessory to murder because he was very much a part of it.
I mean,
criminal culpability can't escape him. But to say that you can't ascribe the entire blame to Indrani, that it is that
again we are going on this whole thing.
Is also
it's not part of the blame
because it was them, both of them together.
It's not Ravina. No, it's not.
But I'm saying Peter cannot escape responsibility or criminal culpability. But the fact is that Indrani got her second husband all the way from Kolkata.
If you look at the history of this investigation,
Ravina. Yes,
and you talked about money trail. I would like to know more about the money trail. Who owns the money? Where is the money?
Precisely. Peter's got his hand in the money till as well. Someone's trying to protect you. Peter, how does the you see, interestingly,
yeah, so that's where the vital clue is.
Of course, why do you think we are pushing
that's
this?
the information I'm trying
From
to get
day
right
one,
now.
From day one I have said very powerful forces, lots of money involved in this. Do not dismiss it as an act of passion by a crazy woman driven crazier by her love or jealousy for her husband. That's absolute total tripe and rubbish.
See, this is a premeditated murder.
Exactly.
It's a premeditated murder. But the issue is, who were the policemen in Thane who did not register the FIR when the body of Sheena Bora was found? Till now,
Nina's back on the debate. Swapnil is on the debate. Swapnil. Abba, 1 minute. Swapnil. Yeah.
That it takes 2 months to arrest Peter Mukherjee.
Yeah, what's it?
Just 1 second, Ravina, please. The very fact that it takes 2 months to arrest Peter Mukherjee, and that too after Times Now makes a noise, and the very fact that even after listening to these tapes, it's not rocket science to understand that a father is asking a son.
Absolutely,
what if she disappears one day? That means the CBI needs to trace the.
Is that circumstantial evidence? Is that circumstantial evidence? He does not. No. What's it? Peter Mukherjee does not say that. No, I never said that. I never told you 1 year back. What if Sheena Bora disappears? He accepts, therefore, that I told you 1 year back that Sheena Bora would disappear. He's not saying disappear from your life. He says disappear. Disappear from your life means break out of your relationship. Disappear means disappear from earth, which means die. Why would anybody in their right mind ask their own son, what if your fiance died?
That's why it was premeditated.
That's what it was
planted in his mind that this could happen in future.
Why was it being planted? Why was it being planted?
Because it was going to be done.
Nasir.
But Peter, when he said, what if she were to disappear, could also mean, what if she were to walk out on you?
No, absolutely not.
I have used wrong words myself. I may mean something else. There's only a possibility.
That's
mild possibility.
See, he was just trying to see
Let me say one
how
last
will Rahul
thing then.
react if they bump off Sheena. It was already there in their mind. They were just seeing how Rahul would react in case they bump off Sheena. I think that was all it was there. The planning had taken place almost a year back. And only after Bombay Police Commissioner was transferred, the case was transferred to CBI, Peter was arrested. So we have to keep that in mind. Maybe selective tapes are being used to protect Peter again. And I think that was
Nina Pillai is on the debate. Nina Pillai is live. Let's go to Nina Pillai. Nina, please. One at a time. Nina Pillai. The plot thickens. Nina.
Arnab,
yeah.
I just think we're in this sex lies and videotape level of how we're reducing this to. We've forgotten how dastardly the murder itself was.
Absolutely.
It was pre-planned. The bag was
yes.
The poison she consumed in the water. The whole thing is so premeditated, and it is so dastardly for her own mother and her stepfather and her other stepfather to have planned something like this. And I think Mikhail knew a little bit, but I think it's Rahul who actually taped everything, has given you the evidence of the worst murder probably that this country has seen. One of the worst.
But what is
it's
it
one
that
of the most
Sheena
heinous
knew that they
crimes
wanted
where
to
the mother has killed her own daughter and then covered up with all these lies
of the senior IPS officers who were involved in this, who tried to help them.
Angles that we're talking about. So this needs to come to speedy justice, and if there's a money trail, that needs to be probed. If there are so-called powerful people, they need to be investigated too.
You see,
but is the CBI up to doing that sort of job? I'm not so sure.
Yeah. You know, bottom line is at this stage, and viewers, I just want to tell you, in about another minute or so, I'll be running tape number 13. Now, tape number 13, we've got several tapes and I'm not necessarily running them in order because tape number 13 is critical. That's when the fight happens. That's when, to put it simply, I think, Megha, you describe it better. That's when Rahul takes on Peter Mukherjee and Indrani Mukherjee and says, I don't believe you. You're walking me up the garden path and I'm going to take you on. So that fight is very revealing because he confronts them on several points. The most dangerous part right now we are on is, was this murder planned 1 year back? Why would Peter ask his son, what if your fiance died? Effectively.
Disappeared.
Well said.
Why would anyone ask that question?
Answer that
Can I take a 2-minute break? I take a 2-minute break and come back with the next tape? Viewers, will you stay with me? I think you will. I'm back with tape number 13 on the Sheena Bora murder tapes in just 2 minutes. Okay, welcome back to the Sheena murder tapes. Now, viewers, we're going to play you a very critical tape. This part, Rahul Mukherjee plays investigator. And then, bit by bit and part by part, he breaks down the theories and the cover-up by Peter Mukherjee and Indrani Mukherjee. This is Indrani and Peter being confronted. Rahul knows by now that she's probably been killed, or that it's a suspicion. Rahul knows his father asked him a year back, what if she was killed? Indrani tries hard. She's desperate by now. She tries hard to prop a story of Sheena's last meeting. None of these theories work. And at that point of time, he loses his cool. This is clip number 13, accessed by Times Now. Listen to this.
Yes, Sheena sent me a message when she left Taj Land's End, which is around 8:30 in the evening on the 24th. And that message was saying that she's on the way to Royal China for dinner. Right? And that's that. Love you, XX. And she basically just said, just left Taj Land's End on way to Royal China for dinner, XX. Now, I phoned up Royal China, and they were open on that night. They weren't closed. So something has changed the plan between Taj Land's End from heading towards Royal China, which is what Sheena obviously thought she was doing. And then now apparently she was dropped off at Amarsan's sort of an hour later, 9:30 or something. And there's just, Papa, there's something going on. I'm sorry, this is not right. You know it as well. Anna, you know it.
Rani, just while you called just now, and I told you I'll call you back, the signal was bad and everything. So I was waiting, and Rani said, listen, we drove past Royal China, it was shut. And if you want, you can go there and check if these people came in for dinner that night. Right?
They said that they went through their bookings list of the 24th for me, and they said there was no booking of Sheena or Indrani or Mukherjee or Bora, but they were definitely open. They had other guests there. They were not closed.
Right.
So when we went into Taj, when we went into Taj, that time was an ocean.
When they went into Taj...
Let me tell you.
Yeah, one second.
I mean, you guys speak to the people from Royal China, no? They said they've been open.
No, I know. 1 second, darling. Just hold on a second, please.
Rahul?
Hi.
Hi. Actually, listen, so that nobody is confused, I'm just giving you the sequence of events, okay? Sheena came at 6:30 to Amarsan's.
Yeah.
Okay, she bought a sari there. Okay, I bought her a sari because she wanted to buy a sari there. Okay. So we bought a sari there, and I'm sure I'll have the receipt already. You can go and ask her. She tried on 6-7 different saris. Okay.
Cool.
Out of that, she bought one sari, a new sari, brand new sari with 2 blouse pieces, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we went to a jeweler shop. Okay.
Yeah.
You post the jeweler shop. When you cross the jeweler shop, you cross. When you go whatever to Taj Lands End.
Yeah.
You go past Royal China.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sheena told me that latest. Yeah. And not in that. That I need to be back in front of Amarsan's by 9:15. I need to be back. Okay.
Right.
So at that point when we went, I said, fair enough. If we have time, because we were both hungry also. If we have time, we will eat. And your Royal China was shut at that point. Okay, so when we went, and I tried calling the Royal China number also, it was shut. Obviously because it was shut, nobody picked up. We went to Taj Lands End. When we left Taj Lands End, it was tentatively about, tentatively, I'm just giving all very, because I have not kind of checked and looked at the watch every minute or anything, okay? Must have been, whatever, 9:45, probably 9:15, I'm not sure, but I was back home, okay? I was back home by 9:45. So from Amarsan's, whatever time it takes to reach home, it should not be more than half an hour, which is why I was asleep, because I had a guest, Mikhail, who flew in from, I'm just giving you, who flew in from outside, okay? Who's a very dear friend of ours. Now this friend was waiting because the house was locked. I'm giving you a little bit of a background. Went to number 8 downstairs. Waited there. So I went there, got him, and then he came up. We got him. Then he was there. He spent the night there at home. Okay, so I'm just giving you a little bit of a background. Now, I didn't want to get into so much of detail. So this is what the background to the Royal China thing is.
So it was closed or it wasn't closed? I didn't quite catch what you were saying.
Sorry? When we went in, it was shut. After that, I don't know. After that, it was already about 9 o'clock. She said, I have to leave.
Right. Okay.
When we went past, it was shut. Okay, so you can ask the Royal China guys what time they open. No, you'll get a sense of it. Know what time they open.
They must be
you can go and check with them.
Yeah.
Sorry?
They must be opening at around 6 or something, no? 6, half 6.
So ask them, no? Then you know what time they open, because we couldn't have crossed it before 6.
Yeah, well,
we would have crossed it at least by about 7:30. So why don't you give him a call, ask, and you get back to me, not tell me.
I got a message.
And then you can go.
I got a message from Sheena at about 8:34, saying that she's just left Taj Lands End and she's on way to Royal China for dinner. So that's the impression.
Rahul, you have received a whole bunch of messages. You've received a whole bunch of messages. I'm not disputing that, okay? I'm not saying for once, but you cannot choose and pick, only this message I want to believe, this message I don't want to believe. You can't do that.
I'm going through them one by one, trying to, get out the information.
So what I want you to do, Rahul, 2 things I want you to do. I want you to check with Royal China, what time do they open? When we went, it must have been, I'm just sensing, it must have been, say, around, when we went to Taj, it must have been around around 7:15, whatever. 6:30 she met me, let's say 7:15. Now ask them that were they shut or open. Just call them and ask them, listen, what time do you open? The shutter was shut.
Yeah.
What time do you open your shutters? Now if they tell you that yes, we open at 6 o'clock, then it's a different thing. Then I must have imagined that if they say we open it at 7:30 or 8, then you know what I'm telling you is true, no?
Yeah, correct.
So will you call them and do that for me, please?
Yeah,
Just check one.
Of course.
Yeah, call them and do that, no? And then you also find out, no, that the two women come. They'll give you a full listing, yeah? There'll be receipts, there'll be listing, there's cameras, for God's sake, they'll see us there.
Yeah, well, they don't have cameras, but they said, they have booking information and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it can't be possible that two of us go there and nobody sees us, no?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you first do that, Rahul. I want you to first call, find out. I don't know what time it opens, and call me back. Call me.
If I am to believe that if her message was genuine, right? If her message was genuine, and she's heading to Royal China for dinner, then something in between 8:34 and 9:15 her plan has changed, right?
Listen, if the message is genuine, if Royal China was genuinely open, okay?
Yeah.
When we went in, I am not kind of, just cooking this up to tell you, when we went, it was shut, okay? I also tried calling that number. I called my secretary for the number. I tried calling in case they pick it up or whatever. Nobody picked up, and then we went, and then, by about, we must have actually left Taj only by about probably 9 o'clock or so, not even before that. So, if I remember correctly, I don't know what time she sent you a message or all that. I don't know about what messages she's been constantly on the phone. Okay, even when she was talking to me, she was on the phone. So it wasn't like she was not on the phone.
She was not on the phone.
She was constantly. It was not that she was not on the phone. She was constantly on the phone on SMSs and all. So I don't know whom she was, whether she was SMSing you, whether she was SMSing someone else. I don't know all that, no? So you just check on this, at what time do they open the shutters? Just ask them that.
Yeah.
So then you will know that if they say, okay, we open the shutters at 7:30, then you know that I'm speaking the truth, no?
So hang on, what time did you go past Royal China?
No, Prasi, 6:30 you dropped her.
Okay.
Then we went, she looked around, got some sarees from Amar's Sons, and then we went from there. We went past Royal China, went to this place near Moti Mahal.
She looked around, she checked out 6 sarees and she bought
a saree. She bought a saree.
She tried on 5 or 6 sarees and she bought one.
Oh, yes.
And she had 2 blouses
about 3-4 sarees.
Okay, 3-4. So that would have taken...
No, blouses, they come with the sarees. I don't have minute details, Rahul. I don't have everything because I have not been sitting there.
I'm just trying to think how long. I'm just trying to.
So I need to keep accounts, no?
I'm just trying to think how long it takes to try on 3 or 4, 5 sarees, whatever. Okay, and then the time span. I have to work it out.
There are people who, Rahul, listen to me. Why don't you do one thing? She must have SMS'd you when we went to Taj Lands and also. So you check what time we were at Taj Lands and
Well, the message was at 8:34. She said she's on the way to.
Yeah.
On the way to.
Obviously, we must have from Taj Lands. No, we must have been at Taj Lands at some time. No.
Yeah, you must have been there before.
And sent you a message.
There's no point giving silly examples. No, I'm trying to find out.
If you're trying to tell me, listen, if you're trying to tell me, Rahul, that I don't know about Sheena's disappearance. Let me tell you that.
Okay.
You have to believe me what I'm telling you. You have a choice of believing or not believing. And I can only tell you what is true, not what you want to hear. Okay, I am giving you the exact sequence of events, whatever. I don't know whether she reached at 6:15 or 6:30. As per her message, she reached at 6:15. Okay, as per her message to me.
Okay.
Okay, so if she has reached at 6:15, she tried on about 3-4 sarees, which these guys, help them tie. Okay.
Yeah.
Which don't take more than each saree doesn't take more than 2 minutes to try.
I know how long it takes one to put on a saree and try.
Supposing it takes 15 minutes, okay? Amar Sons also has cameras. They will show you what time we went in, what time we came out. You will get to know everything, Rahul.
Yeah.
So it is not, then we went to a jeweler shop. After we went to a jeweler shop, the jeweler shop will have cameras, no?
Okay. Which jeweler shop?
I told you, the Natundas, which is opposite Moti Mahal.
Okay.
Now, on our way from Amar Sons to Natundas, we saw that that, this Royal China was shut, okay? And then because when we crossed, that time she said, let's book in Royal China, but I have to be back here by 9:15. That is why the 9:15 thing stuck in my head, okay? That is why the 9:15 figure stuck in my head.
So she was dropped off at about 9:15 at Amar San's with all her jewellery and all her,
She was not wearing any jewellery. Nobody bought any jewellery. She went to see jewellery.
Okay. Sorry, my mistake.
She just bought a sari. She just bought the sari. She just had a sari. That's all.
Okay.
Which was in a packet.
Okay, cool. Let me sort of do my checking and all, and I'll get back to you if I have to.
Yeah, you please do your checking so that you are rest assured, and you please find out what time, because when both of us we categorically saw the shutter was down. Okay, now I cannot give you an exact count on whether we left Amar San's at 6:45 or whether we left Amar San's at 7 o'clock. But around that time, assuming it took us half an hour, I'm taking half an hour. Let's say we were there in Amar San's for half an hour. Okay, in half an hour it wouldn't be more than 6:45. So 6:45 when we left, this one was shut. So you check with them once and you please call me back so that for my own, because I don't want you to sit there and just keep thinking of ideas that I'm hiding something from you, because I'm not. I cannot give you any more information.
I'm not thinking anything yet. I'm trying to find out what what to think about this.
And the last, like I said, Sheena had dropped Sheena at 9:15, or it could be 9:30, but I'm giving you the exact sequence of events to you. From Amar San's, we went past Royal China. Royal China, the shutter was down. Then we went to Notundas. Okay, I'm giving you the jeweler's name, Notundas. He looked at some rings and all that there. And then from there, we went to Taj Lands. She had one Long Island iced tea and one margarita. I had two margaritas. There will be a time also when we take the bill. Okay, I'm not carrying the bill, but they will, Taj has cameras, so they'll see what time we went in and what time we came out, no?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and in Royal China it is not possible. Nobody will, if I stand there or, that nobody has seen me in Royal China, that is also not possible, no?
Correct.
One second, Papa wants to speak to you.
Hello. Yeah, now listen. You do all the investigation you need to do. I think Nani's told you what she knows, where she's been, what the sequence of events is, right? And where she dropped Sheena. Okay.
Yeah.
After that, neither have you heard from her in terms of physically heard from her. You've had messages. We've had messages.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm saying you had messages the following morning, etc.
Yeah.
And in Nani's last message was at approximately 10 o'clock at night. Right? And that's the extent of it.
Yeah.
Now, if after this you want to go find out where she is, whatever, you please do so.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't give you any more information. I don't think Nani can either.
Okay.
But I can only say to you that I think she's fine.
Okay.
Now, you want to go and ferreting away, that's absolutely fine. It's your call.
Yeah. Well, I'm at a loss, so I kind of have to. It's not like an option I have, really.
Yeah, then you do so now. I mean, you can go to Royal China, go parading around in the Taj, go into the jeweler shop, go into the Amar San's sari shop, see whether what is being said to you is accurate or not, and then you
do it.
Do it. Sell it for yourself. Nobody's selling bogey pies.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
That's a clincher, I think. What do you think? Absolute clincher.
Absolute clincher.
Why is it a clincher?
The reason why it's a clincher is because this kind of a conversation never takes place between a stepmother, if you want to call her a stepmother, and a son. It's clearly investigative. The son is clearly sensing that something is afoot or something is amiss.
He completely corners Indrani and Peter on the crafted lies they have built up. He's relentless in the pursuit of the facts not adding up. He directly confronts Peter and Indrani on their shifting narrative, and they know they are exposed. Do they know they are exposed? What do you think?
I am a lousy liar, but even I can see, I'm a weak liar. I don't really get away with it, but I can see here from the conversation that they are really out of it.
No. At this, what happens is, you know why
freaking out.
Why aren't they? Why aren't they?
And freaking out. Freaking out. The son is accusing them of a murder. If they haven't
he hasn't used the word murder, but what he has done
for her disappearance.
What he has done,
but they're giving explanations.
He has abandoned. He has abandoned the meek questioning approach. He has gone for an inquisitorial, aggressive approach, almost confronting Indrani and Rahul on the sequence of events on the night of 24th. So he sat down there with a piece of paper, put things together. He knows that Sheena is murdered. He knows they have killed her together. He knows they have killed her together. Sujay, come to you.
Himself has investigated little bits and pieces, confronting them. They have no answer. They are getting nervous. Their voice is shaky, and every time Peter is trying to answer and fumbling, Indrani props up from behind. So it's like a script which is rehearsed again and again.
I like her to come. I like Mrinalini to come. Okay, one at a time. We are all getting very excited about this, but one at a time.
See, the point is that if you've noticed it, it is Indrani who's taking the lead. She's the one who's giving all the detailing that we went to sari shops, changed this, etc., etc.
But he's gone
Why do you need to give such minute to minute, what happened on that particular evening to Rahul, unless there is something that they need to cover up?
Sure.
And if you see, there is very little of Peter in this. It is Indrani who's taking over the lead, and she's the one who's dealing with it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So don't want to say. Tape 13 is important because in the beginning it starts as a conversation between Peter and Rahul, and as soon as Rahul starts countering Peter on the narrative that's been floated about the night Sheena went missing, Indrani takes over the conversation.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Indrani says a particular restaurant was closed, but Rahul has done his in-depth research.
Because
he has gone to the restaurant, and this is the Royal China restaurant, which is in the heart of Bandra in Mumbai, and he's found out it was open on the night of Sheena going missing, and no record of Indrani and Sheena visiting it.
In fact, he forces Indrani to admit to the fact that the entire story that she'd given earlier was completely wrong. Just how many times has Indrani said in that conversation, "You think I'm lying? If you think I'm lying, am I hiding something?" At least 4 to 5 times. And she's getting nervous because he is persistently asking questions after questions. He's done all his finding out.
And what's happening to Indrani?
He's got the timeline.
He's got the timeline, Nina. And Indrani is trapped in the web of her own lies.
Happened to her in that timeline.
I know that. Indrani is trapped in the web of her own lies, and she's confronted by Rahul. She goes into a laborious explanation,
Arnab,
which is almost undeniably a noted down script she's reading from.
Arnab, if I can come in.
Advaita is coming in. Advaita. Advaita.
He says something critical, and here's where really they know that their game is up, because he says it twice. He says if twice. He says if her message was genuine. Now this is critical, because this is when she's telling him that she sent a message to you when she was leaving Land's End Hotel, and he says if that message was genuine. So he's already pretty much figuring things out at this point.
Aniket Nikam joining us as a lawyer at this time. I think tape 13 is the clincher. A lot of viewers are calling, saying this tape you just played out is the clincher, because Rahul is sticking to his stand despite Indrani almost going on loop reciting some sequence of events that she's cobbled on. He's not listening to her. He's taken over the conversation. Rahul is digging holes like a criminal lawyer into the elaborate lies that have been carefully crafted and laid down by Indrani and Peter, and questioning them on pure facts. They thought they were smart. Rahul has caught them out. Aniket, listening to this, former DGP Vikram Singh, welcome. Aniket, what do you think?
Arnab, in a criminal trial, conduct of an accused at the relevant time assumes great importance, because it indicates the mental faculty of the accused. Now, in this telephonic conversation, which assumes great importance because it has got primary evidentiary value, in this case, Rahul is bringing it to the notice of Peter and Indrani that something is amiss. Sheena is not to be found, and we need to do something about it. Now, as a concerned family, what would a concerned family in such normal circumstances would do? They would try to find out her whereabouts, or they would try to bring it to the notice of the police authorities that their daughter is missing and she's not been traced out. On the contrary, what they try to do is they try to deflect the questions of Rahul by putting certain story around him in order to mislead him. Now, this conduct assumes importance because subsequently what has been revealed is that Indrani is alleged to have committed murder in a conspiracy of which Peter was also allegedly a part of.
True.
Now this entire telephonic conversation in the backdrop of these facts assumes great importance. It has got some evidentiary value which will have to be tested. Now let us not forget the fact that Peter was never arrested when this offence was being investigated by the Maharashtra police. Only when this investigation was taken over by the CBI, there has been some movement and Peter has been arrested.
No, CBI is doing nothing. CBI is doing nothing. CBI is doing nothing. Okay, by the way, viewers, imagine who jumps up now. You remember a person called Mikhail Bora?
Yes.
Mikhail Bora, Sheena's brother. Ravina, before I come to you, Mikhail Bora is reacting to these tapes coming out. Let's hear what he says. Mikhail Bora, Sheena's brother, reacting to the Sheena murder tapes. Let's listen.
Just now I've seen the conversation on Times Now only, so it's a great piece of evidence which I think CBI will use in the investigation, and surely that will help for getting the justice for my sister and punishing the culprits.
So what do you make out from the conversation between Rahul, Peter and Rahul Indrani from these tapes?
What I've seen in the tapes which have Arnab Goswami has played just now, and that shows that might be Peter has tried to, might be not, he has tried to cover up the murder, and he's a part of the conspiracy as well, I think. So that's it. Let's hope for the best, and I'm sure CBI will do their work fine and use this piece of evidence as a crucial piece of element as an evidence, I think.
So what do you think may be the motive behind this murder?
I'm also not clear now, because what this tape suggests is totally confusing. So I'm not sure on this.
In one of the telephonic conversations between Rahul and Peter, Peter Mukherjee has said to Rahul that he had a telephonic conversation with Sheena Bora even after her death. How do you make out this?
That's a total, make-up plan by Indrani and Peter, I guess. And surely, I think they're trying to cover up the murder. That's why I just ought to try to convince Rahul on that.
Okay, now, we were on that point. I think this is an absolute clincher. By the way, we are being told the CBI is still wanting to respond to us. We're ready to take their response, but they must answer. The CBI director must come on camera and tell us if they had the tapes, what they were doing with it. I think the CBI should open itself up for questioning Vikram Singh. They cannot get a statement and walk away on Times Now anymore. CBI has to open itself up to being questioned on Times Now. I want to question the CBI director here on Times Now. And as of now, we have Rahul's brother. Right, Rahul's brother, Rabin Mukherjee. Rabin, are you there? Peter's son.
I am. Hello.
Yeah, we just had these conversations. I don't know if you heard them.
No, I haven't.
So these tapes are essentially out, Rabin. And the tapes quite clearly indicate that your father, Peter Mukherjee, appears to have been much more than part of a cover-up after the murder. It appears his lies were so clear that at one point of time after Sheena Bora was murdered, he even says that I spoke to Sheena, she called me Jiju, she was saying these things. These could not have happened from a person, these words cannot come from a person unless he is involved in the murder. Rabin. Unless your father was involved in the murder and not in the cover-up after the murder, he would not be talking like these. And these are tapes recorded by your own brother, Rahul. You really think your father should tell us the real story now of the extent to which he was involved in the murder of Sheena Bora?
I think that this has become very exciting on your show. I would like to know why your wife is publishing a book and has appeared with Indrani in court on more than one occasion.
Rabin Mukherjee.
Make this story even juicier.
Rabin Mukherjee, you are not answering my question. I'm asking you for a second time whether it is true, and so that you can know it very clearly. There is no such book, but I'm asking you a question. Why did your father, Rabin Mukherjee, say to your brother that I spoke to Sheena Bora when it was clear that Sheena Bora was dead? How is it possible?
He said anything like that?
He said it. It is on tape. Your brother was speaking to your father. And when your brother was speaking to your father, your brother asked your father about this, and your father told your brother that I spoke to Sheena. You want me to play the tape? Your father told your brother that I spoke to. Listen to me. Your father told your brother. Listen to me. Listen to me again. Listen to me again. Your father told your brother that I spoke to Sheena, who was dead. How could your father speak to a dead person?
Right now.
How could your father speak to a dead person? Explain it to me.
How can you say?
How can you? It's on tape. For God's sake, don't you understand? Your father has told your brother that he's spoken to a dead person. Please explain to the people.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the tape, damn it. Don't you understand simple English? Your father is telling your brother. Your father is telling your brother that I spoke to Sheena. What did he say? Now, maybe Megha can tell you once more. You see this, don't try and cover up any more than you have already. Because understand this, the evidence is so striking. You have your brother who has exposed both your father and Sheena and Indrani. So far, there was a clear attempt by your father to say that I didn't know anything about it. Indrani is the bad person. Why would your father say he's spoken to a dead Sheena? Why would he say that? Tell me now. Why would your father say that I spoke to Sheena when it was the fact that she was dead? Why would your father say I spoke to a dead person? Is he crazy?
I need to turn my
Is your father crazy that he would say that I spoke to a dead person? Why would your father say that I spoke to a dead person?
You have no evidence of
My God, I've just played the tape. What are you talking about?
You've played a tape.
I've said, of course I played the tape. Your father is saying that I spoke to a dead person. You seem stunned right now. You seem stunned right now. You have absolutely no answers. Now, what's wrong with all of you? When the truth is coming out, why do you think you're covering up? And by the way, don't you understand, Mr. Rabin Mukherjee, that the truth are like the peels of an onion. Your family has been trying to cover it up for a long time. All of you are exposed one by one by one. You are not understanding. You make an attempt to get personal. I will explain you and I will expose you right here on Times Now. I am asking you, you obviously knew, didn't you, that your father had said that Sheena Bora spoke after she was dead. Can you explain to anyone, Mr. Rabin Mukherjee, why your father would say, why would your father say that he spoke to a dead person? Why?
You are talking about evidence that is unverified.
Why?
Which needs to go through a
Why would he say, why would your father say that he spoke to a dead person? Why would your father say that he spoke to a dead person is my question to you. Answer my question and answer it now.
Both sides can speak, not just one anchor chasing.
Why are you getting upset? Your family, your father's role is being exposed. Is that something to be embarrassed about or ashamed about?
I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
Then why did your father say he spoke to Sheena after she was dead? Tell me.
Trying to match the volume of your voice.
Why was listen, Rabin Mukherjee, don't behave in a ridiculous manner, okay? Now journalists will expose you one by one, not expose you as in expose your father. So don't be over defensive about your father, because I was there in your house. I remember you were there in the room as well, and I interviewed your father. I interviewed your father, Rabin Mukherjee. You were there. And you know that when we go after a story, we go after it. And your father tried to put this rubbish out that he believed that Sheena Bora was Indrani Mukherjee's sister. Your father put that story out till it was exposed in a news report.
Most one-sided fashion.
Till it was put
in the name of entertainment, not of news.
Mr. Rabin Mukherjee, listen, you people have had it too good for too long.
Which people?
You people who are all defending Peter Mukherjee. You were in the room when I interviewed Peter Mukherjee.
No one on your show.
You're trying to get personal because of a news report which actually exposed the fact, and it was published in the Telegraph, and because it exposed the fact, Mr. Rabin Mukherjee, that it was a load of rubbish that Sheena was Indrani's sister, when the fact is that Sheena was Indrani's daughter, and you're upset about the fact that it was published in the Telegraph. You understand that?
Slightly upset.
You are upset because people like you don't like the truth. And I'm telling you, it was published by a journalist. And that journalist is my wife. If you're getting upset about journalists at all, I'm sorry, deal with it. All journalists will expose you. Now answer my question. I'm damn proud of the fact that I'm asking you questions as a journalist. And I'm damn proud of the fact that a story was put out in a newspaper called The Telegraph, put out by a person who is a journalist and my wife, which exposed the fact that Sheena was Indrani's daughter and not her sister. So you, Mr. Rabin Mukherjee, don't try and get personal with me in the least. We are journalists. I am a journalist. My wife is a journalist. You want to get personal with me? Don't. Now answer my question. You answer my question. Mr. Rabin Mukherjee, I think today more than a book, a full essay should be put out on you. And not on the lies and cover up which you people have done. Now listen to me. First of all, listen to me. Just be quiet and listen to me. Listen to me. First of all, now I'm asking you one thing, Rabin. Why did your father say that he spoke to a dead person? Isn't that the question to be asked?
Why do you say that a recording is my father?
Why did your father say he spoke to a dead? What did he say? What did he say?
Before.
The recording may not be my father.
The recording.
All right. So we put all of this on
is
record.
Incredible.
Rabin, I think you need to check with your brother first. Check with Rahul first, because these are his recordings. And in that conversation between Rahul and Peter, it's quite clear. Peter tells Rahul, I spoke to Sheena. She told me, Jiju, how are you doing? And then Rahul, your brother, cross questions Peter, says, Dad, from where was she calling? What is the number? Did you ask for the location? He says, no, I don't know anything. I didn't ask her anything. But if she has to come back, she will come back. So Rabin, instead of asking us question, why don't you just speak to your brother and find out what does he also think that your father is complicit in this or not?
I want to know why the Mukherjees have a telepathic ability to speak to dead people.
May I address your...
What kind of communications do you use to talk to dead people?
Can I please address...
How do you speak to dead people? How did your father speak to a dead person?
What are you talking about?
Sheena was dead. Your father said he spoke to her. That's what I'm talking about. You don't understand simple English.
No, you're saying a voice...
You don't understand simple English.
In a court of law.
Pardon me?
No, I'm sorry. You don't have an understanding of English. I said my father...
You're just looking ridiculous right now, Rabin. How do you speak to dead people?
I'm not being ridiculous.
How did your father speak to a dead person?
To make ratings on a TV show. That's what you're doing now.
How did your father speak to a dead person? Listen, Rabin. There are three parts of this. Hello, Mr. Mukherjee, listen. Calm down, okay? Cool it.
Make your point.
Cool it, okay? This is not the house in Marlow where Sheena was murdered. This is Newshour. If you think you're sitting in the house where Sheena was murdered, then you can behave like that there.
Information you need to be sharing with the CBI?
I'm telling you, I'm telling the CBI to take this information from me. You have a problem with that?
So why do you need...
Because Rabin, listen, so much rubbish, so much absolute tripe that has been peddled by your family. You remember the afternoon when I came to your house, I put a phone in front of your father. I took him to a room and I interviewed him. And when I interviewed him, his lies started getting exposed. You remember that, Sujay? Of course I do. You remember that, Sujay? And after that, the day after that, a story came out 2-3 days later. A story came out in a newspaper called The Telegraph. Right? And that story, I'm very happy to say, he wants to get personal. My wife is a well-known journalist. She put out a story in The Telegraph in which... You want to get personal. I'm saying on record. No, one second.
Wasn't he there in that room with you?
He was in the room with me. He was in the room.
Then why are you getting personal? Times Now doesn't need you to boost his ratings.
He's getting personal because he knows that journalists expose. And the second big exposure, and Megha, you know about it, was when a story came out in the Telegraph which said that the biggest lie of all, the biggest lie that the Mukherjees were trying to plant, that nobody knew that Sheena was the mother, that Sheena was the daughter of Indrani and not the sister, that this devious lie was exposed in the newspaper called The Telegraph. You remember that?
Yes.
Right? Now these two news reports, the interview and the news report, laid your lies out there bare, Rabin Mukherjee. Not yours, as in your father's. Now I come to my moot question. I come to my moot question. No, I'm not going to let you off the hook. I'm not going to let you off the hook. I want to know, Rabin Mukherjee, what kind of special skills your father has to talk to dead people?
What do you mean? That's a ridiculous question.
No, it's
That's something as ridiculous as
that's
that
as ridiculous
happened.
as what
It
your father
happened.
said. Your father
That's
told
what
your
he
brother.
claimed.
Let's pull out the transcript. Your father told your brother that, listen, I spoke to Sheena, and Sheena told me, Jiju, I'm okay. And they had a conversation. How can Peter Mukherjee have a conversation with a dead person? Rabin?
I'm here.
You appear to be a bit stunned. Good for you. Now take it.
Yeah.
Now tell me, how does your father speak to a dead person? This is a simple question. Is it too much of a complicated question, Sujay?
Yes,
it goes to the root of the matter.
Yeah. Now answer my question. How does your father speak to a dead person?
I have no idea about. You might want to talk to someone more expert in those matters. All I can tell you is that you have a recording that you're claiming is a recording of my father. I think that it's for the
What do you
court.
mean? Okay, Rabin, I need to put this on record because you're questioning these recordings. I will tell you, Rabin, these are the recordings that are of your brother. Your brother on his phone has recorded your father and your father's wife, Indrani Mukherjee. These tapes are a part of the investigation that is going on by the CBI. Also, please understand, these tapes are evidence in the court of law, Rabin. At least 7 of them have been used in the charge sheet. So these are evidence. Do not question the authenticity of these tapes. These tapes belong to your own brother.
These are no, one second. Rabin, are you saying this is not your father and your brother's voices on tape? One second. Are you saying this is not your father and your brother's voices on tape?
I haven't heard the tapes.
You want to hear it again?
Hear what? I can't hear them.
Then how do you say it's not your father's voice?
See, but
because I'm saying, how do you know it is?
The question is from the very start of the tape, your brother Rahul has caught your father red-handed and your father's wife Indrani red-handed factually on the inconsistencies, on the text, on the timing, on where they went, what they did, what they claim to have done. And Rahul is very persistent about the things. He goes back to the restaurant, he puts the things together, he says it doesn't add up. It is at that point of time when your brother confronts your father on the shifty narrative being put forth by Indrani, that instead of seeing the glaring gaps in the theory, Peter laboriously starts corroborating Indrani's sequence of events. And then goes on to say later that I spoke to Sheena. Now, Rabin, understand this, okay? No, understand it, fair enough. Listen to me up to this point. Listen to me up to this point. Listen to me up to this point. Up to one point. Later in the narrative, and I would then like to pull out, can you pull out tape 17, please? In the transcript, which I'm about to play out, Peter tells your brother, she called Indrani. These are the exact words, okay? Yeah, I have it here. Yeah. She called Indrani. By the time I walked, Indrani was on the phone. And then she said, speak to Jiju, and she spoke. This is actually a conversation going on, Rabin, where Indrani tells Peter, according to Peter, speak to Jiju. Rahul, your brother, says, she spoke to you. Now remember, this is happening all around, at least a week after Sheena died. And Peter says, that's what I'm telling you. She spoke to me. Rahul says, okay, all right, cool. Peter says, you didn't hear what I said.
One point.
Rahul, yes, okay, what's your point? Go on.
My point is,
yes,
it's a moot point for me, and you can discuss what you want with your other guest. It's a moot point to discuss the contents of these recordings with me because I don't believe the veracity of them, and I believe it's for the courts to decide, not for a TV show.
No, but do you believe your father had a role in the killing?
Of course not.
Even if he said that I spoke to someone who died, why would he do that?
He's never said any such thing to me. Why? He's had no part in this.
It's on tape.
What's on tape?
It's on tape. It's on tape with your father's voice. Yes, with your father's voice.
A tape.
Should I play out the tape, Rabin?
only if you're playing.
Should I play out the tape?
I don't think you are.
You stay on the line. I'll play out the tape. Should we play out the tape, gentlemen?
Are you playing the tape in court?
Yeah, I'll play the tape everywhere.
But you won't admit.
And the tape is going to be played here right now. Abba, what are the implications of this tape? Abba,
I think to prove his point, we can the CBI, if it is watching the show, it must get the voice matching done to check the genuineness of the tape, because the way compulsive liar Indrani is, the whole Mukherjee family is going to deny their voices. So the CBI must make a foolproof case.
Do I have tape 17 with me?
And as per the IT Act also, these are all admissible evidence. So even if Robin is saying today,
okay, Robin,
trying to just
can I play out?
Lies. He's speaking lies the Mukherjee way.
No, I give one sec.
In fact, Rahul has retracted his statement. The statement which he gave that it was Indrani in the car, he has said the second time that someone like Indrani. So that is another thing which is going to come. Rahul has changed his statement in front of the CBI.
I've made my point, and I'm going to hang up now.
Robin, I'm going to play the tape here on.
He just came on.
Sujay wants it. Sujay says him.
Come on the show to deny. He's not in any way answering what is being put to him. From last 2 hours, these tapes are being played. He has heard everything. He's just denying for the sake of denying. That's not the way. Then why did he call and why is he on the show then?
He
has to answer. He has to answer.
That is what he's been told by his lawyers. He's speaking that because that is how they have to get out of the trial.
He attempted a cover-up. He attempted to make it personal.
It hasn't worked, obviously.
He contacted us. No, I place on record. He contacted us. He wanted to say something.
Arnab?
Yes, go ahead, Aniket. Yeah. Aniket.
He's just trying to divert.
Yeah, Aniket.
It is very important that you have brought up this issue of this telephonic conversation, which I presumably think CBI doesn't have. If that is so, then CBI must investigate into
CBI has it.
Must do a spectrograph.
Aniket,
they need to have a 65B certificate under the Evidence Act to lend authenticity to this telephonic conversation.
Yeah, one second.
Mr. Nikam, the CBI has all these tapes, and I must tell you that after the case, after this investigation from Mumbai police was taken away, given to the CBI, I think it was then that Rahul came out with these tapes. I'm not sure. I don't think he gave it to the Mumbai police. He perhaps saved it. He gave it to the CBI, and if I'm not mistaken, it was only after these tapes that perhaps CBI did sort of get an idea that Peter could have been a little more involved than they were thinking around that time, and then the arrest happened. But unfortunately, the CBI then stopped short at just 7 tapes out of 20 and 13.
Okay, I'd like Sujay to come in on this. Sujay, you were making a point out here. Swapnil, you were making a point out here. Now,
no, one second. Even if the charge sheet has been filed, which does not refer to this telephone,
it does partially.
Without making a reference to this telephonic conversation under section 173(8) of the CRPC, they have full powers to do the further investigation, to investigate this angle of telephonic conversation.
Swapnil, one sec. Swapnil, please.
Let's not forget the fact that this reflects the conduct and mental faculty of Indrani and Peter Mukherjee.
Yes,
Aniket, I don't understand why any further investigation needs to be conducted on the telephone recording. The recording itself is very clear that there is complicity of Peter. What further investigation you need to do?
No, one second. Even if there is a recording, there needs to be 65. Let's not forget the fact there need to be 65B certificate. It needs to be part of the prosecution evidence.
That is a technicality.
Merely having this evidence in media circles will not help the prosecution unless
that is a technicality. What are you talking? Aniket, that's a technicality.
The graphic details which have been given in the tapes, the graphic details, and the kind of misleading and taking him round, that clearly shows that there was a premeditated, well-planned conspiracy. The murder took place.
Vikram Singh. Yeah. By the way, Vikram Singh, before you come in, in 2 minutes, I will play that tape. Yeah. Tape 17. Yeah.
Arnab, this is a matter of detail, and these tapes must be incorporated as a part of the investigation and the evidence. Robin has every right to be obstinate and to laugh it off and treat this as a matter of derision. But I would draw your attention to your first 2 interviews when Peter Mukherjee spoke telephonically to you and you tore his evidence and alibi into shreds. That was the first time that his lie was exposed, and most of the panelists and the people then laughed you, the Times Now and us off, and dismissed us that Peter Mukherjee was in no way responsible.
Yeah, so many people said that.
But as I have said before, and I reiterate, that Peter Mukherjee is a master player, orchestra, conductor, and he has the remote in his hands, and he conducted everything right underneath his nose. You may recall that your interview, anything sinister happening in Mukherjee house, and Peter Mukherjee was the first person to be either in Bahamas or Bali or Honduras or wherever. And he took pains to get so-called alibi. And in this case, these tapes would leave no evidence of doubt or no shred of doubt in anybody's mind about the complicity of
Viewers, I now want to play tape number 17. This is the critical tape. We have 20 tapes being played out now. I'd like to draw your attention to tape number 17. In tape number 17 is the big lie. Megha, you can tell our viewers about it. This is when he says he spoke to someone who died.
Well, takes tape 17, the one we were referring to right now, and the conversation that is of prime importance. I'm just going to read this out. Arnab, he says, Peter says, you know, first Rahul says, okay, did she just call you to say she's okay? Nothing that she got a call from anyone saying where are you or anything like that. Peter says she called Indrani, as I said. By the time I walked, Indrani was already on the phone.
But even
and then she said,
you can give the alibi saying Indrani told Peter she was speaking to Sheena. But Peter says I actually spoke to Sheena. This reveals his role. Let's play the tape.
Say again, I didn't get it.
I'm saying she's okay. You got nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Alright?
Where is she? Any idea?
I have no idea. I have no idea where she is.
Okay. What did she say?
And I did.
What else did she say? Just that, hi, I'm okay.
She didn't say very much to me. And then he said, listen, will you please speak to Juju and say that, you know, you're fine.
Yeah.
So she said just that. She said, Juju, hi, I'm fine, and, you know.
Did you ask her to get in touch with one of her friends?
No, I didn't ask her to get in touch with one of her friends. I assume that she's processing slowly, and she will do so eventually.
All right.
And that...
do you know where the number was from? Was it a cell phone or was it a landline or what?
I think I didn't look at you know, when I really didn't look at the number. But I, you know, and I haven't checked the number, and I go, you know, even if I had the number, you know, I wouldn't give it to you. She's asked not to give it to you.
No, I'm not asking for the number. I'm saying, did you see the number? Do you know whether it was a landline or a mobile or what?
No, I did not see the number, to be honest with you. Okay. So I just thought I'd let you know straight off. That's why I called you.
Okay, great. That's great.
All right.
Yeah. That's pretty convenient, isn't it?
We have sent a message.
Yeah.
Listen to me. We have sent a message to Mukherjee.
Yeah.
She will send her resignation or whatever in due course.
Right. Okay.
All right. So he's been informed. We received the message back from him, thanking us and saying that, you know, that's good, and we look forward to receiving formal communication.
Yes, cool. Did she call on your mobile or Indrani's phone or the landline or what?
No, she called on Indrani's mobile, telling whether they call on a landline.
Okay.
I was coming up down. I was downstairs sending the text message to you from the I was sitting in the car.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was downstairs sending a text message to you because I was still completing that. The long text message I just sent you a little while ago. Send the stuff and shut this chapter and blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
And then I came upstairs. When I came upstairs, Indrani was on the terrace on the phone, and she said Sheena just called.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I guess so. It has to be, doesn't it? But anyway, yeah. Okay. Cool. Hello.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it has to be really all right, doesn't it? There's no. All right.
So now, whether it has to be or it doesn't have to be all right, that's your lookout. But I was just saying that I think you should now, you know, try and have something to eat, have a shower, have a wash, have a freshen up, you know, go to the gym, work out, okay, and just.
So so she just called to say she's okay. She's like she didn't get a call from anyone saying where are you or anything like that. She just called just now out of the blue just to say she's okay today.
She She called Indrani. As I say, by the time I walked in, Indrani was already on the phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then she spoke to. She said, "Yeah, speak to Newshour." She spoke to me.
She spoke to you.
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You didn't hear what I said, no?
No. I guess not.
So.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought I'd let you know that. And
I'm just such an idiot, aren't I, Papa? And just the
why are you an idiot?
Fool. Well, clearly the biggest fool. Anyway.
Why are you an idiot?
I guess that's just how I'm feeling right now.
Well, yeah, I can understand why you might feel like that, but I don't think you should kind of keep that in your head for too long.
So I get these messages from you, which Sheena sent to you, right? You just forward me.
Those messages, Rahul. I showed you those messages when you were sitting with me, right?
What?
I showed you those messages. I told you the message that came from Sheena when you were sitting with me at home on the terrace that morning.
You never showed me any message from Sheena when we sat there in the morning.
Yes, I did that morning itself, because that was the morning that I received it. I arrived in India on the 6th morning, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
26th morning.
I don't remember you showing me any message on your phone.
Well, I did read it out to you, that's for sure.
Okay.
I read it out to you, and I said, she's also sent me a message, and she said, here, this is what it is. So,
okay.
But that was right early on in our discussion, okay?
Okay. Well, actually, Papa, actually, enough is enough. All right, enough is enough. Actually, if you think about it with a clear head and some logic, right? This still is the same thing. I have to take your word for it, right? I have to take Indrani's word for it. You didn't even hear her call. I mean, Indrani has got Sheena's phone number, right? She phoned her. It's so convenient. As soon as you land in Bombay and you get home to Worli, you're downstairs, Indrani's upstairs. Oh, there happens to be a call from Sheena, which just suddenly finalizes all of this, right? Just after you sent me the message. What am I just? Come on.
And I speak to her, right?
Come on. Indrani has her number, Papa. Indrani's had her number all along, okay? Indrani has cooked up let me tell you what it is, right? Indrani has cooked up a plan with Sheena, okay? Forget Nagpur, forget this guy in wherever, Delhi or Nagpur or wherever. Indrani and Sheena have come together, and probably the chances are that Sheena has said, I need to do my MBA, and I need funding for it, right? And Indrani has said, right, I'll help you get out of here as quick as you can to go and do your MBA. This is the thing. We've just got engaged, okay? So that's why I can't buy all this. And it's too convenient that as soon as you get back, you're downstairs, a phone call comes in from Indrani. Now, you don't know the number, you haven't seen the number, but she's telling you that this is this. She obviously phoned her, right? Use your demand, man. Look, Papa, I love you, but you're pushing my limits here, man. And I'm sure I'm pushing yours as well, but I'm sorry, I cannot buy this. I'm still going to do my thing. I'm going to continue on my whatever it is until I get some hard, clear, factual evidence that Sheena is okay, right? And that probably means me speaking to her. So until I get to that stage, I'm afraid this is all going to stay as it is in my mind, all right? This is not going to wash. Text messages, someone phoned Indrani again, and it's not going to work, man. This has been going on for this anyway. It's not going to work like this. I'm sorry, mate. All right.
Okay. All right. That's fine. You don't need to shout.
Yeah. Well, I'm literally getting worked up now. So
get agitated any more than you are already.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you. By the by. Okay?
Yeah.
I do feel sorry for you, because I wouldn't want to see you, anybody that I'm close to, in a situation like this.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have to say to you, like I said in my text to you, that you should accept it and put this chapter to rest.
Yeah.
That's all. Now, if you don't want to do that and you want to keep, as I say, keep sweating over it, that's fine.
Okay. Cool.
No call, darling.
Cool.
Okay?
Cool. ठीक है.
Okay.
Yeah, ठीक है.
All right. Speak to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Boy. What do you make of it, Ravina? Let's start with you. It's in this tape that Rahul realizes that both Indrani and Peter have tested his patience. I don't know if you heard that. You could hear that, Ravina?
Yeah, I did.
The Indrani.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So he puts out various versions. He's not in any mental frame of mind. He absolutely explodes. Short of saying that I know that you're involved in this, he says everything. Ravina.
Yeah, short of accusing his father of it directly, I think the fact that he has not trusted them all along, and it comes to this where they are literally pulling wool over his eyes, I think it is so unfortunate and so depressing. And you know, I just keep asking the question, what gave them the confidence to think they could pull this off?
Exactly.
Whose hand was on them? Let's ask that question sometime.
Yeah, whose hand was on them? Someone's hand was on them, because he appears so cool in the phone call. Vikram Singh. He appears so cool. His son has almost caught out the murder and he's unruffled. Like, son doesn't matter. Vikram?
Absolutely. Please understand that the unwelcome truth that has trickled out of the gagged silence was a foregone conclusion. And in spite of the incisive and disconcerting questions put by Rahul to his father, using the swear words, and ultimately you could see the pathos and the anguish in his voice. And at the end of the day, you're very right, short of accusing his father of murder, he said everything. And what he left unsaid is poignant, and at the same time, with the anguish that he had to say, perhaps he did not spell it out.
Yeah.
But the evidence part, the evidentiary part, is so incontrovertible that the CBI only has to go parallel, collect some more circumstantial evidence, and if there is any doubt in anybody's mind that this case will not end in conviction, this tape will ensure that conviction.
Absolutely. Is this tape enough, Sujay?
Rabin Mukherjee should hear this tape now.
Yeah.
It is he who should hear this tape. His father has nailed it. He's completely nailed, and this will result in a conviction.
You think so?
101%. This has to result in a conviction.
You think this tape will result in a conviction? Would this apply to both? Yes.
I think there are some more twists and turns that are going to come up in this case.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's quite over yet.
Well,
I think, Arnab, there will be the money trail, there will be the power behind the throne, and some other things which, if allowed to and comes out, then you will have the whole story. We're getting bits and pieces, like morsels, and keeping everyone terribly excited for a bit, then it dies down,
Arnab,
and then you don't know what the agency is doing, and it's too packed, you know, in some ways, and we've been sent on different trails. But the murder, the conspiracy, the cold-bloodedness of it, the lies, the tapes, you know, everyone being suspicious within a family of each other, and eventually killing a member of the family and lying about it, and then the police are somewhere they're complicit because there was a body found. There's a smell. There's a body found. You know, it's not considered. There's a diary entry, but it's not put as murder.
So,
you know, then the DNA is done last year.
Okay, CBI reacting.
It all smells of
CBI reacting to our story.
Deeper than what we're
has issued a statement.
Right now.
I think we have the CBI statement on tape.
To convict Peter, you know, Indrani, her ex-husband, and
CBI reaction on tape. Let's play that. Then we take a 2-minute break, and I'm going to come back on that. By the way, I just want to say we have played about 4% of what we have with us right now.
Yeah. Wow. My God.
95% of what I have with me has not been put out yet. My team is working on it. There's a lot that we have. We put out what we can right now. CBI reaction, break, come back for the last section.
All the tapes being played on your channel Debate have been taken into account during the CBI investigation. These form an integral part of the evidence against Peter Mukherjee and others, which has already been submitted in the court. The matter is sub judice.
We're now going to play clip number 8, but which has more details about the story being floated by Peter and Indrani. It also reveals a lot. What precisely will it reveal?
Well, Arnab, there are two things. A, of course, they're talking about a fictitious character. We don't even know whether he exists or he does not. A person by the name of Nishant Khurana, which Indrani claims he has a Bentley car, and Indrani claims this as per the cop's conversation with her. She is saying that they have squared down to the last phone call from Sheena to a person called Nishant Khurana, that she spoke to her for an hour, and that she was at the airport at the time when she spoke to her. So of course she's spinning a story that perhaps she's gone away with somebody by this name and that they were going around. Now we have checked with the cops, Arnab, and the cops are very, very clear about one thing, that they haven't heard this name Nishant Khurana. So clearly it was not the Mumbai police who gave out this name. It is Indrani who brought out this name from her own imagination.
From her own. Should I play clip number 8? But before that, Megha, I'd like to congratulate you again, because the CBI just authenticated the tapes. You know, nowadays you can put real tapes out, but someone can say these are manufactured tapes, that you've got people to play act the tapes and pretend they're Rahul and pretend they're Peter. But implications, Abba, of the tapes being authenticated by the CBI. What are the implications? Now this is hard evidence.
Now that the tapes are authentic, it becomes a very important circumstantial evidence, which would nail Peter, Indrani, Sanjeev and many others.
The whole lot.
The only thing is, what is important is that even the voice matching should be done to test the genuineness, because the defense is going to always doubt, as Rabin said, that these are not the voices of Peter and Indrani and Rahul.
And now I want to,
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll follow the process. And whatever has to be, the prosecution will do that, because they also have to have the conviction, and we believe that the prosecution would like to nail down who the real person behind this
prosecution
is.
Meaning?
I mean, the CBI.
How are you so sure?
No, they should be doing it.
But one thing I'm worried, Arnab, that the IPS officers or the senior officers who were trying to bury this case, the CBI has not come out with the names. So that is why all this investigation, one is doubting the integrity, because somewhere some people are being protected, and that is why it is necessary that this channel takes this to the logical conclusion.
But the arrest took place after the CBI took charge of the case. Please understand one thing.
No, but then there were so many facts outside that they had no option. CBI had no option but to arrest Peter, because the Mumbai Police Commissioner was removed.
I'd like Ravina and Nina and Advaita to come in once again, because Advaita, see here, at one point we hear of a man called Nishant Khurana. This is, nobody knows who Nishant Khurana is, but this man's name is picked up, and Rahul is told there's a Nishant Khurana who Sheena has spoken to for 1 hour, and the Mumbai police told Indrani that as per the phone transcripts, before taking off from the airport in Mumbai, Sheena's last conversation was a 1 hour conversation with Nishant Khurana, who it later turns out is believed to be owning a Bentley, which is a very expensive car. So a narrative there, Ravina, being built up, that and Peter later says, why would she speak to somebody for 1 hour, unless hinting that Sheena is now got out of the relationship with Rahul and is in a relationship with a man called Nishant Khurana who has a Bentley. It's a classic theory. Deception.
Ravina. Sort of introduce that.
Yeah, Ravina first and Advaita after Ravina.
He's obviously here trying to build a case for why Rahul should forget about her, thinking that his son is a moron, like the son says, you think I'm a moron. And this is very, very clearly a case of somebody who's so in the know and so convinced that he has to speak to his son in such a manner so that this case is closed and the son doesn't keep questioning it. It's very, very obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Advaita.
Yes, I think it's also backed up, and this is where the tag team part comes in, because in that earlier conversation when she's elaborating on the timeline, she says that she was on the phone the whole time. Now, I don't know if she was messaging you or someone else. So, that introducing that seed of doubt happens in that conversation as well. So it's pretty much, building this narrative of there possibly being another person involved, or a sort of triangle situation. So this is where, they seem to work together.
Yeah, let's play clip number 8. This is the first time we hear of this whole theory of Sheena possibly going away with a guy called Nishant Khurana, who, by the way, as of now appears to be a figment of Indrani's imagination. Clip number 8.
Throughout the morning, she was apparently talking to somebody called Nishant Khurana. They have identified the number, Nishant Khurana in Delhi. Okay. Have you ever heard of this name? Because I have never heard of her. Like I said, she gave me some story about some Nagpur guy. Okay, now this is a new angle to, he said she's from Bombay, because we were trying to find out. Seeing between me and Peter, we were also equally concerned. Who's this guy? She's vanished with, or wants to run away. See, you have to understand, she had 40,000 cash with her. Okay? Now these ties are that this is a head of crime branch. He's giving reports as to where the satellites are catching.
Okay.
So she was definitely at the domestic airport at about 11 in the morning. That she's confirmed. Okay, and before that, she's had a 1-hour conversation with a guy called Nishant Khurana. So I said I will ask her boyfriend just now if he knows of any Nishant Khurana.
You know, I don't.
So that is what it is. Neither time. This is the first time.
Yeah, I think maybe.
I'm so sorry for screaming at you.
Yeah, me too. I'm just concerned. I think.
You know what she told me? I asked, I said, where is Rahul? This thing, Rahul. He said Rahul was his number. He's, of course, they've identified, this thing as whatever that you all live somewhere in Marol Naka.
Yeah.
So they traced everything. They traced down everything. So he said that she was in Bandra somewhere, and from Bandra after that she was at the airport. So
Indrani, it seems Sheena is not playing her own game, but it seems Sheena is kind of got a plan as to what she's doing. At least she knows, and she seems to be okay now.
No, but at least now we know that she's gone somewhere or she's with somebody.
Yeah.
At least we are not feeling like fools. All of us are not sitting and fighting here, no?
Yeah, correct. I'm also sorry for shouting and screaming at you and getting worked up.
No, same here, sweetheart, same here. And you don't know my relief. The moment I heard this, it is more that she's taken a flight and gone somewhere. Finished. Now at least we are not. You want to quickly speak to Papa?
Yeah.
1 second.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Just talk to him. He's also saying sorry.
Hello.
Hey.
So there's a name and some detail on this conversation. So a long conversation and our conversation.
Good morning.
And so as and when more information comes through, we will get a handle on they'll have a handle on that number, obviously.
Yeah. Cool. As long as she's all right, isn't she? So.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So and so we thought we'd pull you right away. So as soon as we hear any more, I'll let you know.
Alright. Okay. Cool. Well, at least I can deal with my thing now. That's cool.
Sorry?
I said at least I can deal with my own thing now, in my head.
Yeah, you can deal with your own thing in your head, exactly.
I can move on from this and kind of work out my own thing. And I'm sorry for getting worked up with you as well, but I really, I don't know who is what and what is who and all that.
Who's doing what, And only thing you can hear in the background, she's feeling terribly sorry and, because, you never know anything who's holding out for whom,
Nagpur was a complete red herring, that means Nagpur is
Nagpur is a red herring, clearly.
Poor thing.
There you go.
Oh dear.
Yeah, well.
Oh well.
Yeah, some fellow called Nishant Khurana.
Yeah.
He's got a few things to learn. He has a few things to learn about what he's getting into. So there you go.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's see. I mean, anyway, let's see what happens.
Let's see. But you don't worry about it anymore. Try not to worry about it.
No, I'm gonna. I'm gonna do what I gotta do now, man.
Yeah, carry on with your stuff. Plan your life. That's really.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think there's a big sense of relief. I tell you.
If these now that I've heard all this, I kind of am starting to believe. Yeah, all right. These messages must have or may have come from Sheena herself. So if that's the case, then in a few months' time, maybe we'll chat and get some closure. Finally and all that. But if not, then
yeah, exactly. Meantime, just do something with yourself.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, there you go. These things happen. I was telling you the other day, I said, you've got to grow up as in, the world is a funny place.
Clearly. And not as in funny, haha, as in funny as in...
No, not funny, haha. Not funny, haha. It's funny as in odd, unusual, different. And, these are things that happen, These are things that happen in life, I think. And very often it's the person, as I say, the closest person the last to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I still don't know whether they're in a relationship, whether they're friends or what. So I'm not gonna totally close
You can't assume that
close anything.
Or they're just good friends, but you got to assume the kind of the worst. You know? If she's talking to somebody for an hour and you don't know who that guy is, you got to believe that something happening.
No, not necessarily. I mean, you talk to friends. I was just, you talk to friends for lengthy periods if there's something going on, if there's something you need to.
Yeah, but you know who that friend is. No, that's my point.
Perhaps. I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to sort of start thinking about all of that. I'm going to still wait to hear from her. Eventually, like you say, she won't stay incommunicado forever, right? There will come a time when we'll get some discussion.
Exactly. There will come a time when this thing will, it may take weeks, may take months. But at least we know that, we read that it's not that she's kind of, being abducted and thrown into a cellar and, all that kind of stuff.
God, thank God, yeah.
But you don't want to be in that sort of situation.
Yeah.
So that's the concern factor. You give yourself some mental rest if you can. But where are you now?
I am in Bandra at the moment.
Where?
Bandra.
Oh, in Bandra. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get something to eat, then we're hungry, and
I will. Yeah.
Just hang on a sec. Please get to that. All right.
Hello, Rahul.
Hi.
Hi. Actually, seriously, you just go and get some rest. And, I think that's a better thing to do. There's nothing. I think we should probably, anyway, I don't know who the Kishan guy is, whatever. We'll see now what else. Nothing much to really, if she's taken a flight and gone somewhere, then there's nothing much one can do, no, Rahul.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do anything anyway. I can understand if she's finished with me and all that, she wants to move on, that's cool, that's her own thing. But I just needed to know that she was okay, you suddenly disappear.
Yeah.
Then I'm obviously here caring for her and worrying about her so much, then it leaves me in a complete state.
Yeah.
So.
No. In fact, we also got very, very, I was alright till morning, I didn't think about it because, she gave me some Nagpur bullshit. Now, it's a completely different, there is no Nagpur at all. Now, there's a completely different guy. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I think we should all have a good night's sleep now and rest and just, start the morning fresh and, carry on. What else to do?
Yeah. She's alright. She's cool. She'll be alright, I guess.
Yeah, she'll be alright. She'll get by alright, and tomorrow I think I'll inform her office people also. So what else to do? There's nothing much to.
Alright, well, you take care, and I will speak to you guys later.
No, you too. Okay. Bye then. Bye.
Incredible conversation there, right? What do you make of Indrani?
I feel that while we should not judge people, and especially a guy, if he enjoys so that we don't get sued, so that, that he enjoys the company of women. But like Peter Mukherjee's ex-wife has said, that when he introduced her to Indrani, she had thought that he would leave her as well, because that's what he has done in many previous relationships. Now we have to think, what was the motive, and for once, what was making Peter stick on? Is it just the money trail? Because apparently he had used Indrani also to transfer that money. And is it more than that? Who is protecting him?
Yeah,
absolutely. The entire casualness that, son, don't worry, your fiancé just flown off with some unknown man. Let's go and have a good night's sleep.
Emotionless.
This is completely misleading. Yeah. And the father tells the son, go on with your life, go ahead, go eat something, don't worry. They should be running helter-skelter, lodging police complaints that where has she disappeared?
Like a lost
I'll inform their office. That she has run away with some unknown person. What is all this going on?
Yeah, Niket.
Arnab, in this conversation, Indrani and Peter introduces a character called Khurana.
Yeah.
Now, this is very important because it requires to be investigated whether this gentleman in reality exists or not, number one. Number two, look at the conduct in the conversation. You please move on in your life, everything will be alright, what else can we do? Now, this is not what you will normally reflect in such a situation.
What?
So all this adds up, and all this reflects on the kind of mentality that they were having at that point in time.
May I, Aniket,
the
on
CBI
this issue of this gentleman called Khurana,
record, number one, the CBI needs to
Aniket, on this we did a separate investigation of our own. We found out through multiple police sources, because the source of this man called Khurana is believed to be telephone tracking through devices that have been done by the Mumbai police. We spoke to the individual officer concerned in this case. And we asked him, and the officer said, yes, I did talk to them, and I did give them location reference that we knew that it was in Bandra. I don't know whether they tracked it beyond Bandra. But when asked what about Khurana, Megha will now tell us what the police said. What did the police tell you about Khurana?
Even before we come to what the Mumbai police response was to this question, the thing is that the Mumbai police officer to whom they claim they spoke to tells me clearly that they did not even ask any question beyond the location. They did not ask about the last phone call. They were not interested in any other details. They just asked for the location, and he gave the location.
No, but did they mention this? Did the location and the telephone tracking at any point reveal any gentleman called Khurana?
And on that, Arnab, the Mumbai police is very clear. They themselves do not know who this gentleman is.
Exactly.
Who Khurana is. So they heard it first from me today.
Swapnil.
Now this Arnab.
No, what's Swapnil? Aniket, 1 minute. So let Swapnil come in.
If Mumbai police, before handing over the investigation
that the CBI needs to go behind that one statement which the father made to the son, that what if she disappears, trace that statement with antecedents of any money laundering, etc., because that statement should not have come but for some precedents beyond that. Investigate that further, fast track the case, convict the people, and just as we in our legal annals call it the fundamental rights case to Keshavananda Bharti, just as a matter of deep appreciation to Times Now, call this as a Times Now case.
No, but then, but you know what surprises me. What you're saying is link up certain factors. Aniket, just 1 minute. Aniket, just 1 minute. So we are saying here, what do we have what is the information that we have at hand? We have a murder which happened. We have the antecedents before the murder, evidence leading up to the murder, conviction of an individual, the people involved, the arm, etc. We have a history of, I wouldn't say collusion, but a cover-up as far as Peter's role was concerned. We have conflicting and self-contradictory positions taken by the investigating officers, including the last police commissioner, Abha.
Yes,
right? Questions raised by Times Now, when they become embarrassing, the police commissioner is removed. So somebody up there is aware that all is not right. Okay, the focus is put in order to sort of satiate public anger. Peter is called in for questioning and finally put in lockup. Peter now wants to come out and is demanding bail. 1 year has passed. Over the last 1 year, the entire track of investigations refuses to look at the money angle, Peter's angle, or any angle apart from the crime of passion angle, which implicates only Indrani. Right? The issue that I have is you cannot pick up 7 clips and say, I've used 7 minutes or maybe 20 minutes of a 4-hour tape, and I don't think all of this implicates Peter Mukherjee. Circumstantial evidence, the fact that there is apparent hatching of the plot 1 year in advance when he says, what if she disappears? Right? Along with the fact that there is a caught lie where he says, I spoke to a dead person. The same person who asks his son, what if she disappears, not disappears from your life, disappears, also goes on to later say he's spoken to a dead person, should put an intense amount of scrutiny, Vikram Singh, as far as investigation goes, only on the acts, the finances, the planning, the role, the money transfers centered around a person called Peter Mukherjee. I just don't understand, Vikram Singh, why all of this is being discarded.
Absolutely, it's getting murkier and murkier by the minute.
Yeah.
As your learned panelists have mentioned, it would be too simple to believe it is just a murder of passion. It is much more to it than what meets the eye. Please, please, please go after the money trail. They are in a position to give 3-bedroom Bandra flats to their servants and to their employees. What to talk of the deceased? 3-bedroom flat in Bandra cannot be the motive of such a large-scale criminal conspiracy. And the spinning of a yarn, I would draw your attention to the day of the jackal, when the jackal invents an identity, Alexander James Quentin Duggan, for himself on the basis of the deceased, another deceased from the graveyard. So this Nishant Khurana is again a figment of their imagination straight from the leaves of the day of the jackal. And I would think that they seem to be heavily dosed on the day of the jackal by Frederick Fawcett.
Okay.
The motive of the murder is yet not established by the CBI. So that is the thing which needs to be looked into. Maybe CBI doesn't want to investigate the motive
appears to me that the CBI, unfortunately, is doing reverse engineering, having come to the conclusion that their own strange psychographic analysis of Indrani makes her the only person planning the murder. They are doing the reverse engineering from there. If it happens, it's a travesty of the truth. The CBI should know that it's going to end up looking foolish if it tries to do reverse engineering from Indrani's part. They should do reverse engineering from the tapes. To the CBI director, that's the only advice. Nina, you said more flips, more turns, powerful people, more will come out. Now, if my question to you is, let's take an assumption that there are some powerful interests which want this concealed. Some powerful interests out here who today are very nervous. 1 year back, they were very nervous. When we were opening up the case, they will go to any extent, do anything to close this case. They are desperate. Now, given that those powerful people are watching tonight, what will be their next move? Because the tapes are out.
It could be anything. That's why I said there are twists and turns that are going to come, Arnab. And this veneer of pseudo-sophistication to this case has to be ripped off, and we have to get to the truth. Your tapes are doing their own story, but there is much more to this, and I think just if ordinary people like me can figure that, I'm sure the investigative agencies have
in the interest of justice
get to the bottom of it, and I think you might beat them to it, Arnab.
In the interest of justice.
The one line which CBI person said that the matter is sub judice, they would send you a notice to ensure that these tapes are not done out, and they will say that the system is going to be compromised because we are running this show.
Then
because
in that case,
that the hidden thing was there, that the matter is sub judice.
If the CBI,
sub judice, and the tapes are a part of the trial and important evidence. So this would be the next step which the powerful are going to use
if the CBI,
ensure that the case
the court has given an order for the disclosure of the tapes. Point number one. Point number two, I have gone in public and said I have 4 hours of tapes. Point number three, I'm making a public declaration that in the interest of justice in this case, we will go public with the entire tapes tomorrow.
CBI admitted that.
Now stop us if you can. I'm making a public declaration. Megha, we will put out the entire tapes tomorrow. If the CBI wants to stop us, if these powerful forces for some reason want to stop us, they're going to have to serve us a notice. If they serve us a notice or act legally to stop us from broadcasting the entire tapes, then they themselves would be putting themselves under question, because people will then ask them what they have to hide if Times Now puts out the entire tapes.
So Megha, in fact, there's a very clear court order.
I don't think we can be barred.
Given out. So there is no way that the CBI can stop us.
They can't do that. They can't.
CBI should now take it positively, get inspired by today's debate, and thereafter fast track this trial. CBI should take up positively. They should take it positively.
There is no way that they can stop it.
I think
what is wrong in that? Let them take it positively.
After watching it.
After watching the transcripts of the tape, I think it'll be very easy for the CBI to actually find out exactly the role of Mr. Peter Mukherjee. When did he know? If he all along was involved, or because once they approach him with all this, he'll have to let the cat out of the bag if there is any cat.
Unfortunately, I have had 3 experiences with the CBI. My experience tells me, so you sometimes have to coax the CBI into doing something. Sometimes you have to nudge them to doing something. In this case, you have to shock them to doing something.
Absolutely.
We've shocked them into doing something. Rather than stop us, let them stop the killers, the conspirators. We are going to go public with the entire tapes tomorrow, Megha, right? The full tapes will be out as much as 4 hours. We are working overtime on it, and we're going to put it out. Let the truth prevail. Thank you very much for joining me on this fascinating episode of the News Hour this evening. Thank you very much. Thank you.